Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have JHIN jungle, and no, this is not a troll. Normally this would be a very off-meta video, but in this video, it's not an off-meta video. This is what Riot want. They removed the damage reduction from his W and E against monsters, which means we can now clear pretty well. However, we are still not going Giga Meta Turbo fast, we're not doing like rework Talia or Carthus at 254, but it is respectable, and you do require a bit of setup to optimize your clear, but you don't really need it, if you know what I mean. If you have a level 1 and potentially, team is invade, you have a fight, you're not going to be screwed entirely by, of course, not being able to lay your traps, your E initially, but it is definitely something we want to do. So, we ward to protect against any potential vertical jungling or invading from a Nunu. We stack 3 traps here, and of course, runes on your screen now. Dark Harvest for the Giga scalings. You can go Fleet Footwork if you do want to go a more conventional clear. In this case, Cosmic Insight is always valuable with off-meta or more niche, exotic pick junglers. Now, obviously, for the full clear, solo start, super fast and efficient, go to my friend Phalaris' channel. He has uploaded a JHIN jungle clear guide for you, so he will break that down in depth. But for this one, we are essentially getting a leash starting on the blue. And it's worth noting at this point, obviously, that they last for 3 minutes, which means there's no real rush. In Zyra's case, there is a rush. They last 30 seconds. So you need to be placing that at 1 minute. Make sure your passive's ready to go at 1 minute, or you're screwed. In JHIN's case, we can just basically absolutely yeet the wolf camp very, very quickly. And we were looking here with a leash on the blue into Gromp, into wolf camp here, waiting for the 4th shot to give us some stonks. We're looking at, come on, I mean, you think it's fast and then it takes him 18 years to attack anything. 224. This is respectable business. This is respectable gaming. And of course, you can use your root to check if your red's available and pull it out over here when we're worried about this, which, against your conventional junglers, will be something that happens. Now, we did see the snowball, but he goes mid lane, burns a flash from Vel'Koz, which is probably more wise. But should you be, an invadey kind of jungler, someone that likes to get frisky, yeah, we want to invade this JHIN and we want to make him hurt a little bit. But as you can see, 251 out to the Raptor camp here, red into Raptors. I do like this. This is when you are concerned about being invaded, right? If you're concerned about being invaded, you can do this first and then carry on about your business. We saw the Nunu start here. Blue buff, 12 camps, gank mid, and go down. So that's worth noting. Now we're going to shadow this, not as well as we think. Not nearly as well as we think, and I don't know why he's wasting too much time going to the bottom crab here, when of course, we know Nunu's here, and he can just consume Smite, or at least consume it. Here we go. Will he go for it? Yes, he does. Waste of time. We know he's down. We can just go up to the top crab. That's absolutely fine. Yes, it's a Scion versus Silas, but in principle, that's what you're looking to do. All right, we're not looking to coin flip a bottom crab, even if Pyke is helping you. You want to guarantee yourself a nice free crab that avoids confrontation. In this case, we had Pyke, we had Vel'Koz, so it's fine. But if you go for that versus a more meta jungler like a Rengar, you're going to be food. Also worth noting, by the way, when you play something like this, the global impact, semi-global impact of your ultimate. That's not even true. Just long-range impact of your ultimate, much like a Nocturne, or a Baboose, a Scion jungle, or a Rengar jungle, or an Ornn jungle, your ability to come from unique angles is something that's valuable, right? It's very, very valuable once you do hit level 6. Obviously, Nocturne and Rengar are different, but it's the same kind of principle of, hey, angles are not something I'm concerned about. But, when you're talking about Ornn, Scion, or JHIN ults, real nice. Now, basically, because we lost out on this, he could have done this in the reset, basically. He has basically set himself up for a counter gank on the bottom side, which is very, very good, because we were waiting for our Gromp and our Wolves, and our bot lane do good work anyway, and we show up here out of the bush, and you do your marksman things, flash full shot, because that's what JHINs do. But remember, good dodge by the Ashe. Does she burn? She doesn't burn, unfortunate. And we'll have to push this wave. Again, unfortunate for our bot lane, but we'll absorb that experience nicely. And this player, literally, just got Master Tier playing this. Literally just won his promos playing this. It's a new world, ladies and gentlemen, but at least it's not Soraka jungle. Although at this point, I mean that years ago. Now I'm concerned. Concerned they might try and bring it out. Dragon takes, let's have a look. We have here Pyke over the wall. Again, weird air takes. Asthma striking me strong today. The allergies in April and May. I can do nothing about it. But this is respectable. This is better than Zyra jungle doing this, I can tell you that much. The damage reduction obviously was notable, but he does so much damage. The Smite full shot is obviously a good combo as well, by the way. So when a Jhin gets really, really fed, or you get into the mid and later stages of the game, I don't think a Jin's gonna have any issue securing any epic monster. With your 4-shot plus smite, what are they gonna do about it? Obviously, we're gonna max the Q here and carrying about a business. Now, some of the other games he did play, I had a quick look at. Definitely more conservative. Farming, sequencing, looking for the range, pokes with your W, maybe sliding in with an ultimate later on. You're not gonna match a ganking jungler, but you can track them and counter gank them as he did on the bottom side, and you can go back to farming afterwards, and you can still secure objectives. Like for right now, he's gonna hit 5, right? They're gonna overpush top lane. We're gonna anticipate the Nunu's gonna be top side here. Why get into a farming competition against a more meta jungler? We're fine, but we're not gonna really be able to do that as much. And here, we can hit the root, obviously, which is beautiful. People are not valuing that root from damage when you come into a lane. It's much easier to hit and more valuable than a Kindred, actually. And that's what's huge, right? Kindred, unfortunate, we tried to snipe it, but, you know, the squid got it from us. You know, as a Kindred, you walk in and yeah, you have the slow, and Graves has smoke screen, which is a broken ability, but Jhin can walk in, and if as long as the lane is doing the thing properly, you can just walk in and root him, provided you hit your skill shot. You know, hit your skill shots. I'm not gonna give you context if you're not gonna hit your skill shots, but here we go. We're gonna snack that. Nunu's gonna hold the mid lane, and we're gonna do this, and we should be level 6, which means if something happens mid lane now, you can go in with your ultimate. Curtain goal. Man, you see, I play Zyra, right? And I play jungle, and I've always liked, I think everyone likes Jhin. His thematic, his kit, everything about him, and no one likes Ashe Hawkshot. That is the most stupid ability in the game. It should have, I don't know what to replace it with. I don't know. It's like I'm doing good work, and all of a sudden the ADC hits it, and now I'm spotted, and all my power thing's gone, and I hate it. I think all junglers hate it. I don't think it really should work over jungle zones. I don't know, it's a bit weird. Anyway, Nunu's ganking mid lane. I'm going to stop that now. We're going to open up the curtain call. We're not going to see the effects, but he's going to rinse down with ult. Many hits, so many hits. Missed 2, but we hit the 4th. That's very, very nice. I actually had a really nice, as we watch this unfold. Nunu goes back in with a snowball. Jin's just sticking in the back lane. He tried to do his best, but he's going to tunnel vision. You know, you cannot tunnel vision. Attack what's in front of you, don't over chase something running away, and then find yourself melee range as an ADC. It's something you definitely want to avoid, and we failed. He failed, but he will get better. Don't worry, no problem. Believe. Out of base now. He's going Eclipse, by the way. He's going Dark Harvest, more lethality-based Jhin. Anyway, the Jhin game I said I did find, ironically his name was Soweto, which South Africans will know. He goes to the Herald here, but no top lane and no mid lane, and we cannot contest it. He started with fleet footwork and solo blue Gromp Wolves, cut in for a lane gank if he needed to, but otherwise he'd go down to his red and Raptors as well. But it was a very passive early game, a few counter ganks, just farming, keeping his levels up. They're invading the red, here we go. And he just went bottom lane, and from Tribush here, he was blue side and just sniped 2 kills. Well, not Tribush, but like lane. And he just sniped 2 kills, and it was such a... Any other jungler would never get anything there, unless you're a Karthus, so... Think about your ultimate. Use your F keys for your ultimate. Look for those low range targets that you can really just open up curtain call and snipe him with. Nunu is here. He has taken the Herald. We can do nothing else but sequence and farm, which is exactly what we want to do. We're going to watch this on the F keys, even if you're Jhin. You can watch it on the map here. You're going to go back to this, you're kiting this, but you do want to keep very close attention. I'm going to snipe that to what's going on the top side. And actually, free agent mid laner does good work, killing the Nunu, and then he dies. So what can we do as Jhin? Here we go. Solo Bolo on the Ashe, perhaps. ADC on the ADC Crime, or are we going to wait for the Jinx? Looks like we're going to wait for the Jinx. Oh well. Right, she misses. Doesn't matter. We can auto, and then we can root. Thank you very much. Traps down, double stunned, and good night. I mean, from a ganking perspective, it's so good. The range, the damage, the CC. It's fun. And of course, as I mentioned, the ultimate. So you're seeing a good application of Jhin here, 2-1-2, and this guy did win his master promos playing Jhin jungle with Eclipse, with Dark Harvest. We are at 6 stacks at the moment. It's just to get to the late game, right? I mean, same reason anyone uses Dark Harvest, although it really feels like not a lot of people are using Dark Harvest. So keep an eye on that in terms of who can and who will. Echo obviously yes, Karthus obviously yes, but you know, in lieu of first strike, she got that kill, that last little auto sliding out. Are you sure you want to be here? We're going to open up our ultimate for the slows. Can Pike follow up? That's 2. That's 3rd one misses. Can we hit the 4th one? Yes, we can. And that was a long time. No damage, Pyke. Good ADC eating the ult for the support. Okay, we want to be very careful here, but we are... Ooh. Round of applause. Everyone clap. Are you clapping? Make sure you're clapping. Comment clapping. This is... I just watched Taboo again with Dom Hardy, and there was a different clapping in that video, in that TV series. But, very nicely done. I don't think... I mean, we didn't really have to flash, but the force shot turn for me is something that people still don't track in the majority of elos. So if you can get your first clear down, go to the practice or get your first clear down. I mean, doing this against a Nunu with no support is kind of rough, so I'm expecting we just die here. I'm having a fat chat about my Netflix and general things about jungling. And Nunu's gonna die for it, but he does get it. So there you go, a solo bolo dragon. Yeah. Decide for yourself, but that is, of course, the risk. I did watch the other guy. I'll link his profile below maybe as well, and you can have a look at the replay. He soloed the Herald, and it was pretty efficient, actually. So that's the biggest thing for me. We can always give up dragons based upon how difficult the dragon is to take. And if we have bot lane prior or assistance. But Herald is a thing that really makes it difficult for me, because that's the thing you really usually solo, and you don't really want to draw attention to it. But Jhin was fine. Right. Double longsword, we have Eclipse. Unfortunately, we died again, but don't worry, as you can see, late game stuff. There's a reason Reckless is still farming from his last game. Probably at 1500 CS. He's almost ready to fight, guys. He's almost ready to fight. But, actually, I love me some Reckless. I'm just having some fun. Relax, people. But the only jersey I own from esports, because the jersey quality is giga terrible, is actually a Fnatic World's Final jersey when he was on that team. But yeah, esports teams, can we have actual jerseys, please, that don't cost 1,000? But hello, look, we're opening up the curtain call again, and Jinx ult cinematically misses for us. Hook into, can we do it? We can? Hey, Pyke did it. And then it gets stunned by an Ashe ult, and she turns the kill, which is well played by her. Dodges the root, or at least the damage, and Nunu now will come out of base. So anyway, where were we? We said a lot of things recently. Yeah, the dragons are good, the ult from range is very, very nice. And esports teams really need to focus on making some good jerseys. Yeah, that's about where we're at. At the same time, we are now at 8 stacks of the Dark Harvest. In our bank, we have 915, so no concerns. But yes, you are very much a late game champion, and teamfighting as an ADC is radically different than teamfighting as something else. No, we kind of tracked this. We thought, you know, she's going to overpush it. But do you, as two ADCs, have the ability to deal with a Nunu? No doubt, Blitzcrank showing up. And of course, their ADC there. So, question, well, that's the question. The answer is no. But that's not because of us. Because we're Jhin and we're strong. Or we're Yin and we're strong. Hello, Pyke. Can we get some damage down for us? We do have the root. We can use the root. Pyke is going to help us a little bit. Well then, it's a dead Blitzcrank. I do like this, ladies and gentlemen. I do like this. What do you think? What do you like what you're seeing? What issues are you seeing that might forbid this from perhaps becoming a stronger, more meta pick? I think, obviously, you're going to have issues against meta junglers who play well, but at the same time, this dude just got mastered with it. I looked at a developer game, and he was just farming and sequencing and counter-ganking and using his range to poke and do some damage with the ultimate. He's not really getting in the faces of people, and because of Jin's movement speed passive, as well as the fact that you usually go Swifties, he's so difficult to deal with anyway when he's fed against cinematic Jinx ult, and this one is blocked and doesn't hit anything, but with Jhin, so with range component... oh, well, Jinx, I mean, Ashe stunned us. How were we stunned for like 300 years? What was that? Honestly, it's ridiculous. At least we live, though. At least we live. If your team's gonna do this from a jungling perspective, make sure you just leave us a problem. Let's have a look then. How are we doing? We're 5 in Q at this point, 3 in W, which is very, very nice. Look at the trap does all the damage you can possibly need. I'm sure someone's gonna be AP Jinning this pretty much in the jungle soon. You could. Well, I wouldn't, but you could. And now we have Sion with Hullbreaker, the most diseased playstyle to have ever graced this game. Not Sion. No one has an issue. That's the way. That's it. I like it. I like it a lot. Always flash in front of a Sion to stop it. That is the rule, even as an AD. This is... See, listen up very closely. When a jungler plays an ADC or a marksman, Look at the shit we do. We block air shots from pikes. We still kill them and flash out even though we don't need to, just to show them our gigantic smite balls. And if a Sion's leaving and split pushing top lane and we're going to have to give up, you know, anything forward, we're going to flash in front of it to stop it happening. We don't care that we're ADC. You know, obviously he died twice, unfortunately. First time's definitely a mistake, tunnel visioning, vacuuming him his eyesight. But overall, look at the difference. You all know that if this was a bottom lane player, they wouldn't do any of those things. And they just whine about it and whinge. Then that's my piece. Anyway, more marksman junglers that are not Graves are things I enjoy. We are now curtain calling again. We're going to miss the first two. The third one has hit, and then Pyke steals that one, unfortunately, which is, you know, that sucks. So one champion that is JHIN, you're waiting to line up that fourth shot for the you know, the super pop, and hey, the bounty ticks plus 100 gold, and the Pyke is the one thing that can kind of diminish that dopamine hit, but you know, it's fine. Now look, you see we have Lord Dominic's coupled with our Eclipse. Obviously there's two giga huge tanks plus the Blitzcrank, and now you can see. You see, now it speeds up nicely. As we get 15, 20, 25, 30, you just become stronger and stronger. And you're just an ADC. The fact that you're a JHIN jungle matters not. The problem is usually you're going to have an ADC main on your team in some components. So having like a Karthus bottom lane or a Yasuo bottom lane or even a Swain bot or something a bit more niche in terms of a draft could be really interesting, because JHIN is a scaling ADC, right? JHIN is going to dominate games, obviously, okay? The movement speed allows him to take care of himself to a certain degree, which is obviously good. But you are better in a good team fighting team comp, right? So you don't technically want two ADCs, it's not really an issue, but if you could have something fun and flex, right, where you're kind of picking something else, bottom lane, other than an ADC, and JHIN's the guy to smack the towers for you, that can work now. And I'm not even memeing it, you're watching it work, and there's a lot of people trying it. They're not executing it perfectly yet, which is why I waited a day or two just to get some replays. Grrrt. Dies. Again, look at the spacing, look at the spacing, this is most important here. Keep your spacing, stay behind your team, don't overcommit, right? You're just looking to attack what's in front of you, don't follow the Sion here, just kill the Blitzcrank, now we can turn onto the Sion. Yep, there you go. Almost thought I said his champion. Wrong there. Focus what's in front of you and then focus on the next thing. If you need to peel yourself from something that's going to attack you, use your movement speed and create that space. But ideally, if your team's just chasing and fronting and doing classical team fighting, it's going to be very different than how most of you junglers are used to fighting with melee, gore drinker, disgusting Talon, you know, whatever abuse you've been inflicting upon my mental. But I classically have always played Kindred, so I'm impartial to a good marksman jungler. However, I do suck at kiting. That is not a skill set I have. You know, Forest Within can't play melees, I can't play ranged really well. That's why I play Kindred, because it's, you know, it's a little easier. But JHIN could work because, you know, it's a bit of a spellcaster game, and obviously the fourth shot is important, and auto attacking is important, but it's not a case of like giga kiting, you know, like a Twitch, which is nice, I think. It's important to note. Here we go, curtain call, and of course I have to open up my camera here to get all of these doink, and a knockup and a death. Thank you very much. Blitzcrank, man. Blitzcrank. But Pyke's also doing his best impression. Pyke is so diseased. I hope they don't go through with that scaling ultimate. Riot, please don't do it. Like, it's not a good idea. It's dumb. And no. I thought it was going to do more there. I always think it's going to do more on towers. I always think everything's going to do more on towers. I have this old... Rengar Q in my mind from 2014 that whenever I'm that champion and I hit Q and I just melting towers. So I was quite upset when they took that away. The fact that they brought it back is nice. Very, very nice. But then they nerfed it and then they buffed his clearing. So yeah, here we are. Cooldowns, for those of you who don't know, and I'll be honest with you, I don't remember either. 120, 105, 90. So 2 minutes is substantial, which means, you know, you're not running it down, just lane ganking with your ultimate. I mean, you could if you decided to go ultimate hunter, but I don't know why you would. Treasure hunter I think is way better for off-meta junglers. If you don't need any other rune, I like relentless for off-meta junglers, just to move around, farm quicker, get to places faster, avoid things quicker, rotate, counter gank. I prefer the movement speed component, but treasure hunter is great because it's 550 free gold. It doesn't give you any eternal returns, but it's nice to give you sort of catch-up itemization, you know what I mean? We're 9-10 now, we're very much carrying this game, and I love this. It's very reminiscent of Zyra, the way I play Zyra. You're just kind of floating, right? You're just floating from side to side, clearing your camps, using your range, using your damage to create issues, but you're not face-checking bushes. You're not running into enemy teams for no particular reason. Everything you do is for the purpose of trying not to die, with the exception of the 2 times he did. But that's just something you have to play with your positioning, right? Cyan bottom lane here, snacking this as well. We're going to go to this. Pyke's going to ult that for us. Thank you so much, sir. Let's see how quickly we do this. That's quick. So, apparently, you can duo this Baron with Jinx and Jhin. Does anyone think, and you can let me know in the comments, does anyone think that the Baron should be more difficult to take? I was mentioning this in coaching. I think it should be. I don't think 2 ADC mains plus a Pyke should be able to do a Baron that quickly at 20 minutes. I do think that Elder Dragon's obviously the game winner, right? We all want Elder Dragon. But why is the Baron so easy to secure at that particular moment? I'm not a huge fan of that, and I've snuck a lot. I even had live coaching yesterday. Coaching signups on Patreon. Live coaching where we went into VOD review, and we made the call to, okay, well, we got a Sassy node there. That's unfortunate. Check your bushes. Don't run down to a Baron that's, Dragon that's up when 2 are top lane, but that's a separate issue. You know, where basically I said, hey, listen, this may be a silver game, right, at this point. And I've done this with Plat and Diamond jungling too. Plat and Diamonds really don't take Barons when they could. But it was a silver game. I was like, well, you know, there's 2 bot. Why don't we just do this? And he was just a Warwick, and the Tryndamere shows up, and you just do it. It's really, really easy. For how punishing it can be, like this, I don't think it should be that easy to secure. But obviously, remember, when you are... I mean, I don't know why they're just giving this up, but okay. If your whole team is topside, just don't walk into the fog of war. You're an ADC main, you don't stand a chance. You have to keep your range. You need to probably, I would advise at this point not to have this. You definitely want to have, either Blue Trinket or a scanner. You still want to scanner early to check if you're being invaded, especially against more aggro junglers and more negative game states. But in this point of the game, you want a Blue Trinket, I think, as a marksman jungler, as a Kindred who has a bit more mobility and safety in their ultimate. Yeah, you can go scanner. But for Jhin, I think a Blue Trinket in this particular situation would be kind of valuable, specifically against Rengars and Evelynns. So Jinx is going to ult initially. We're going to yeet that ult from Lissandra as Silas. We're going to pull him in, which allows him to do his business, and Jhin is just curtain calling, as you would have noticed. I like that so much for positioning. I like it so much how you can just chill from the back. Really, really an understated playstyle, wouldn't you say? Definitely an understated playstyle. I don't know what's going on here. We're teeping into this, okay. I love it. I love it when people go on Ashes, man, and then she just turns and you're like, I forgot this champion is so diseased. Ash support. Anyway, back to the mid lane here, and we are just absolutely rinsing people. Beautifully done. Just keeping up your attack damage. I mean, you're keeping up your auto spacing, as Doublelift would say, and you're just making sure to weave in those orders. You're hitting your W, you're using your Q appropriately, you're laying traps to make sure you can combine with that as well. And then if you need to ult, you can open with it, you can close with it, it doesn't really matter. But in terms of a ganking perspective, it's super, super valuable. Look at the distance he's keeping. You see, that's why I'm keeping the camera here. He's just skirting the edges. He's just keeping his distance, his range. And that's why this guy's winning with it, because he's playing Jhin like Jhin. He's just navigating the jungle early game like a jungler. And honestly, if Jhin is having troubles in bottom lane, which he does in certain metas, and he struggles to get going, go jungle now. You can just go jungle if you don't like the matchup, if you don't like the team pump. You can literally flex this pick and decide on what your team wants to do. And that's, I think, fun for Clash, for Flex, and in general, to be honest with you. So, not the most specific and in-depth sort of like technical breakdown. I don't think we need to do that. There's more than enough content to explain to you the combos and the atomization and the runes on the champion, but more about how do we apply something like Jhin to the jungle. And I think we can all agree that was fun as hell. Try it out yourselves. Go to Phalaris for the full technical clear. He'll break it down for you. But in terms of macro jungle pathing, hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. There will be a new video hopefully tomorrow as well. Main channel, I just put up the best junglers tier list. Patreon, again, poaching. Patreon has coaching and coaching signups. Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.